Hello everyone, in this tutorial I will be showing you how to use WordPress using WampServer. So first what we're going to do is we're going to be installing WampServer. So this allows us to use a local environment for our WordPress application. So in WampServer, what we're going to do is we're going to click on downloads right here. And then depending on your system, you can choose either a 64-bit or a 32-bit, so go ahead and check it out. So I'll be installing the 64-bit on my side. You can add some information here if you want, but you can actually just download it directly by clicking on this link. And then let's give it a bit of time and it should download on its own. If it's not downloading, we can just go ahead and click this and then click on direct link. Now let's go ahead and install WampServer. Once it's installed, let's go ahead and run the executable. Now let's go ahead and select our preferred language. So here we'll just keep it to English. And click OK. And then go ahead and have a read on the license agreement. And once you're done with that, we can go ahead and toggle I accept the agreement, and then we click next. We then go ahead and read some more information, and then we click next. And then we choose our root. We will keep it as is in this installation, and then once again we click next. Here you can choose what kind of database you would like to use, what kind of MySQL, and other things as well. So I'm going to keep everything as default installation, and we're going to go ahead and click next once again, and next once again. Now this gives you all of the information that will be installed, and once we're happy, let's go ahead and install. Now during the installation, it will ask you what kind of browser you would like to use. So at the moment it is set at Microsoft Edge for the default browser of the WampServer, or we can choose to use a different one. I'll go ahead and continue with this and I'll click no. Now it will also ask what kind of text editor you would like to use. So if you have a different text editor rather than Notepad, you can go ahead and choose that as well. So I'm going to keep this as normal as well. So I'll just choose Notepad as the text editor. So I'll click no. Now we'll get more information on how to use the WampServer, but I'll go ahead and show you how to do that. So we'll go ahead and click next. Let's finish the setup and click finish. So now we're going to go ahead and open up WampServer. So we can either look for it in our desktop shortcut, or we can go to the destination where we have installed it. So I'm going to go and look for it. I'm going to open up the File Explorer and then into the C drive, and right here, WAMP64. Now all we need to do now is run the WAMP Manager application right here, and it will do some configurations, and then you will see nothing afterwards. Now to check that the WampServer is running, we can go ahead and go to the bottom right here in this icon, and then we should be able to see this logo. If the logo is green, this means that all the service is running, so as you can see up there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be setting up a blank MySQL database so that this will allow us to save things locally. So what we're going to do is we're going to left click this and then go to phpMyAdmin, and then go ahead and select the phpMyAdmin version that you have. If you have multiple ones, then you should be able to see multiple ones right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. Now this will take us to the login screen of phpMyAdmin in our selected browser. Now let's go ahead and log in. What we're going to do is type in the username root, and then we will leave the password blank. So these are the default credentials for logging in for our localhost phpMyAdmin. So let's go ahead and log in. Now once we have logged in, we're going to need to click on databases right here. So we're going to create a new database for our WordPress, and then let's give our database a name. I'm going to call it testdb. Now you can choose what kind of Unix code you'd like in here, but I'm going to keep this as default. And let's go ahead and click create for our database. As you can see here, there are no tables found, but we have successfully created a blank database. So this database is now ready, so we can install WordPress on localhost. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to install the latest WordPress. So we'll go ahead and go to wordpress.org and then click on Get WordPress right here. Let's go ahead and click download. So we'll be installing the latest one. So once that we have installed it, so this will be as a zip file. What we're going to do is we're going to unzip this so we can use either WinRAR or I'm going to be using 7-zip for this. So I'm going to right click on this and then click on extract all. Now we're going to need to install WordPress in the WampServer destination that we have installed to. So that will be in C and then WAMP64 right here. So this is where we're going to be extracting WordPress. So I'm going to go ahead and click extract. Once that is installed, we can see that the folder is right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this into my site. So this basically is the URL that you'll see once that you go to our local host and for us to access WordPress. Once that this is changed, what we're going to do is we're going to drag this my site into the www folder. And once it's inside, we should be able to access this into our local host. So let's go back to our browser and we'll open up a new tab and then type in localhost. So once that we've typed in localhost, we can see everything in here. So our WampServer is currently running. Let's edit this URL and then we will add /my site. And here we are. So as you can see here, it is configured into our WordPress. And let's go ahead and choose our language. So again, in this, we'll just choose English. And then we have all of this information. So we need to know the following: our database name, user, password, database host, and our table. So we have done this earlier on. So let's go ahead and click Let's Go. Now, if you recall earlier on, we created a database called test_db. The username was root and the password was blank. Our database host is the local host, and then the table prefix is just, we will just leave this as is. Now let's go ahead and click submit, and WordPress will then create a configuration file in the backend. So let's click submit on this. Now we can go ahead and install WordPress as a local host. Let's click on Run the installation. Now we can go ahead and create a WordPress webpage. So the site title, it can be anything that you want. So I'll just call this my site. The username can be, say, admin, or you can choose whatever you would like. And then an email that you would need to use for your admin account. Now you can also choose to discourage search engines from indexing the site, but it is up to you. So I'm just going to leave this blank. Now we can go ahead and click Install WordPress. Now there you go. You have now fully installed WordPress through your local host. So let's go ahead and log in. Now here is your WordPress dashboard, and if you can see here in the URL, it is in the local host itself. Now you can go ahead and start editing your site in your local environment. Well, I hope that you have found this tutorial useful. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.